Navi's turn to ban. Dire team pick.
Wall.
Dark.
Slada.
Dire team pick.
Terror Blade.
Navi's turn to ban.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Summit 7 EU Qualifiers. Vega Squadron v Navi. Going to be going into Game 2 now, as Vega did thrash Navi Game 1. This draft was way too fast. These picks happened in actually 10 seconds. So, yeah, we have ourselves some heroes. For this second game, Navi slam pick Darkseer Slardar, no hesitation. And this does seem to be their bread and butter. This is something that they're very comfortable with.
Yeah, this hero has become super popular last few weeks. Maybe less than that, honestly. Last maybe 2 weeks most. Darkseer. It's been kind of like forgotten, and then like at the end of the major, like everyone's like, "Oh my god, this hero! We forgot about this hero. Why? We totally have never tested this hero, but this hero is actually still broken, even though they nerfed him extremely heavily. He's super hard to play now in laning stage. I really want to see. I love watching Darkseer's early game now because I have no clue what to do. I just go Iron Talon and go jungle. But interesting to see how Noah's gonna run it. I'm a bit scared because this draft is also super fast, and last game was also super fast. But then Vega kinda outdrafted Navi, so maybe Navi should take it a bit more slowly this time. And we'll see what Vega does here. They kinda need. They don't have a good. I don't think they can salvage their safe lane. Like if Darkseer Slardar decides to go aggressive, their safe lane is not gonna probably be able to win against that. Warlock can just steal the Terror Blade constantly, and that's how you play the lane. You just try and farm. And I think Vega should pick some roamers to really punish the other lanes of Navi. Maybe get an Earth Spirit. Sioma plays, what does he play? He plays a Tusk actually even. And if heroes like this, they just punish the other lanes, and you're gonna sack your safe lane to an extent and just get Terror Blade as much as you can.
Saw him play Spirit Breaker last game. That was, I would say, mostly a response to the Nature's Prophet on the Navi side. But wow, Kefka with the reads. As well done, man. Well done. That's a tough one to get out there, but Tusk definitely one of those heroes like Earth Spirit, like the Monkey King, who can, and perhaps to a slightly lesser extent, but still pretty substantially control the map on a little bit more of a roaming scale. And you're going up against 2 melee heroes already, so Tusk will have some pretty nice offensive and defensive capabilities here. Like Navi looking for a pretty big team fight setup off the back of this Darkseer. Of course, Static Storm and all that jazz. Pretty deadly until Snowball is thrown into the mix, and you can just grab them from outside of it if you're Tusk on the outside, and you're good to go. Of course, it's a really kind of narrow application, but you got to remember that defensive power from the Tusk as well. Vega Squadron, as you said, will probably just leave this Terror Blade kind of out to dry, and for Navi, their draft pretty quickly as well, but you know what? They're not going into this like super narrow strategy where they're not picking up any team fight and just going for like global heroes who are pretty easily hard countered. I mean, Darkseer has his counters. Disruptor, you know, is a very utility heavy hero, not really super damage heavy, but I think this is a really good, or much better at least, opening for the Navi side, because they can still go late with this draft, or if they really wanted to, go super early.
Oh, yeah, I like Navi's draft, especially the pre-first heroes. Like if you have Darkseer and then like 1 or 2 heroes to combo with, you're gonna be strong even in late game, even if the other cores are kind of weak, as Darkseer is that type of hero. And the Void is being picked up. This is kind of rare. I think Pycat might be one of the few carries that actually tends to pick this hero every now and then, even though it's still rare for him. It's even rarer for other teams. So it's pretty good with Darkseer, especially Ion Shell early. You don't actually have to chrono, because usually what happens is like Void is only good in chrono. But with Ion Shell, you have like a little bit more than only that, and I think it fits the lineup so far. However, Void is I think that hero is pretty unsure. Like, how strong is that hero really? Play it carry, you kind of need a lot of farm, and your early items are kind of meh. You know, you don't become strong until like your 4th item, I'd say. Until that point, you're almost only a chrono until you got that far. So he has some weaknesses, and But it's kind of hard to like okay, Void is bad, so Vega are gonna pick something that hard counters him. It doesn't really work that way. It's just that I'm not sure how strong this hero actually is. And Vega should probably go with the offlaner now to match up against the Void. And maybe this is pretty hard actually.
Yeah, the offlaner's got a lot of hate. You do want a hero like Axe or Legion, both out. Magnus is out as well. Centaur?
I feel like Centaur is like the only one that I feel like is strong that's still left. Sanking, I was thinking Sanking a bit. He's pretty good. He's kind of nice against Void because how the time walk works. Like you're not gonna be able to time walk until the stun duration is over, so it kind of counters him in lane in that way. So that's actually a very nice 1 versus 1 for the Sanking. So Void can time lapse the damage off, which is a huge advantage. That's basically why Void is strong in lane. So Sanking is hard counter in that way. But I feel like it wasn't really what they wanted the most, but it's fine. It's a pretty good pick.
They do need some more forms of crowd control in order to deal with this Faceless Void, or in order to kind of proactively initiate onto Na'Vi. And Sand King kind of fills all those roles. You have now stuns for the Faceless Void, so he can't always just bounce out of there with the time walk. You'll be able to perhaps catch the Darkseer or catch the Disruptor before Na'Vi are all fully in position to land this team fight, because if you get hit with this team fight from Na'Vi, you're not lasting long as the Vega Squadron side. I don't care who you are or what items you have, you're going to get your ass kicked. So I do like the Sand King as far as that is concerned. And, again, you want to have a hero like Axe to do that kind of similar purpose. Sand King, I think, does it pretty well, and we can see the Puck being banned out for a very similar reason. Like, Vega Squadron do need the ability to start the fights on their own terms, and Puck is probably the premier initiator hero from the mid lane, at least. There aren't really many others that do it as well as the Puck.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Five seconds remaining.
Mirana.
Ooh. I was gonna say OD, just get some more defensive power up against these ultimates. Have a solid lane matchup for whatever lane opponent you're going to be going up against, but screw that, that's boring. Got Mirana. Vega Squadron. Haven't seen this hero in actually months, so yeah, we'll see how well this hero is able to perform. Again, another proactive initiator. Not really super high tier, but when you have a Tusk, when you have a Sand King, you'll be able to land those chain stuns, or at least make it a possibility. It's a little bit of a risky pick from the Vega Squadron side in the grand scheme of things, like Mirana just inherently is, especially in this patch. Lane matchup wise, they're usually fairly mediocre. The low base damage of Mirana kind of kills her.
I'm scared of a Templar though, that could actually destroy Mirana in lane. Maybe they're kind of fine with it. I feel like I don't think TA is the best hero for Na'Vi, but that would probably destroy Mirana in lane. They're gonna go Invoker. I think that's like the safer pick. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing Mirana, especially see how he's gonna play it. I think Mirana is kind of a weight hero. The benefit of Vega is they have the Warlock Mirana combo. That was an old classic, like last patch or like a patch or two. I don't even know. Like the old classic. This was picked like Warlock Mirana every game. Some patch ago. I have pretty bad memory when it comes to that stuff. But it's really pretty good. I wonder what he's gonna go in items though. I think he has gone Ags, his Mirana before, lately. But I feel like you have more options now. You can go on Midas into like Dragon Mjolnir if you want. I feel like that's pretty good right now. But I'm assuming it's gonna be an Axe. It just fits so well with the Warlock especially. But I think this is a more even draft, I'd say. Definitely not a big advantage for either team. They are kind of like, they're not as niche as Na'Vi was last game. Neither team was like, okay, we have to play it this way. We have no other options. So it's gonna be more interesting. I hope. Last game kind of ended anticlimactic. It was like, oh, now they just went high ground and they won the game straight up, and Navi couldn't do anything about it. So I'm really hoping for a more interesting game.
I really like how they have just a hero that's very elusive, a hero that can split push very well. If it is going to be a Maelstrom build-up at any stage or an Aghanim Scepter build-up, between that and the Moonlight Shadow, Vega Squadron will be able to just split push and try to avoid these team fights. They, again, don't really have much of a chance if that happens. They do have to rely a little bit more on splitting up the map, and this Mirana will allow them to do that. Like, she is just an absolute crazy split pusher. If she is going to get that extra Starstorm, she's going to get some extra lightning damage, so a hero that is able to keep mobile, pretty important, and well, we'll see if Navi can kind of pin her down. They do have more than enough tools in order to do that, but for right now, no huge interaction between the teams, so let's see who's going to be playing what. Navi, Flap General with the Darkseer going up towards top. Dendi on his Invoker, just firing out Sunstrikes galore. Pycat is on that Faceless Void. We'll see how successful he's able to get this game. Biver is on the Disruptor once again, and leaves the Slaughter Seniko. The on the roam boots first.
Yeah, and it looks like Vega are going aggro tri-lane actually, with Alwadans on Terrorblade. It seems that way at least. Not sure if they're gonna do really weird lanes, because Silent is kind of heading top on the Warlock. Afterlife, can you get the shoot? I think you need to get out. Oh, he got... Oh god, that was not good. I think Soneko should have chased that. I am certain that was... Maybe not a kill, but
you get the bounty rune, so that's already a win. You have Ion Shell on you. You have the boots advantage. You've at least forced out another Burrow Strike, which just takes out a little bit more mana from the Sand King, who doesn't have any clarities or anything like that. It would have been a really just like cost-effective damage play, but you know what? With the Burrow Strike, he probably doesn't get the kill, so it is going to be a little bit of a lane switcheroo here, as we have Sioma on the Tusk, roaming about Terrorblade and Warlock. It will pressure back the Faceless Void for as long as Metamorph is active, but after that, then Navi actually have a pretty good shot at just manhandling their numbers advantage lane.
I'm gonna be fun to watch to see how long they stay down here. I feel like this might just be like a 2-minute play or something, because staying down here for long seems disadvantageous. But I'm not sure. We've seen this before actually with Terrorblade aggressive tri-lanes. It kinda seems off, but then it's like actually pretty good. Maybe not amazing, but it works. But Darkseer is still gonna have a good time top lane. Sand King is a good matchup, but he kinda got harassed early. He hasn't picked up his stout because he couldn't get the bounty, so it's pretty awkward for him. And in mid lane, I'm not sure. I think this is very 50-50. I think G is very comfortable in this matchup, and is probably gonna do fine against than this Invoker.
And the Mirana will have her spells to kind of compensate for ever decreasing damage compared to the Invoker as it picks up more exhorts. Overall, it should be okay, but no, Shards defensively pushing out the Terrorblade. Now, I'm going to assume that was 100% intentional from Sioma. He's very comfortable on this Tusk, but Terrorblade offensive tri-lanes, you already mentioned it, with the Warlock and with the Tusk. The big concern there is that, yeah, they have damage, yeah, they have poke, but they have no way of actually getting a guaranteed way of locking a certain hero in so that the Terrorblade can do all that damage. Especially when you're looking at someone like a Faceless Void. Like, you just can't stun him and kill him ever unless he makes a huge mistake. So they're still getting really good farm here on the Terrorblade and actually keeping Pycat low on the CS. So for right now, it is actually working out, but I don't expect that to be the case for long. Dendi over in mid, took a lot of damage, now caught with the shards.
Oh.
Gonna go into Ghost Walk, and everyone will back off. Sioma in a kind of 1v2 scenario, but Dendi, the Shrine is gonna break Invis. Soneko still on the chase, has boots, so the crush can land. Cold Snap is there as well, and Tusk does have a snowball, does have a little bit extra juice, but not really sure if he's able to get out of here. Now has nothing to cast. One more right click, miss? No. Dendi will grab first blood, albeit barely. Usually forcing out a Ghost Walk is good enough, because it costs so much mana, but this time it's a little bit too expensive.
You get the crush off. This hero is very tanky though.
With the armor, shards coming in once again, forcing Pycat away. But the Thunderstrike comes in from Biver. It will still be a 1-for-2 trade. And a roll in onto Pycat. He doesn't have another walk for another 10 seconds. Only Sioma with an Orb of Venom though. Silence coming in if he lands. I think he's fine. He's gonna jump down. South cancel, which kind of sucks.
That's pretty good. Oh! The shard?
Oh, no way.
Oh,
Sioma lands a
Sioma.
tight wall on Pycat, and that'll get the kill. I mean, we both said Sioma was comfortable with this hero, and I think everyone knows it now.
That was like the ultimate bait, you know. They're like, okay, Pycat, we're gonna make Pycat think he's gonna survive this. He's gonna waste the salve, he's gonna leap down, and then I'm gonna land this eye charge, and we're gonna kill him. It's gonna be amazing, and it was. That was I really thought he was gonna make it out, but that was so good by Sioma. Really playing well, really comfortable on this hero. Really fun to see players play this hero, which is kind of rare.
And now he's going to be in a rough situation. Snowball already used, no mana for the
He's
shards,
making it
does have
out.
an arcane rune. And there's a
that's
shrine
right.
close by. Silent gonna give him a little more juice. Crush, right clicks. Shrine in range now. He should be fine. He's gonna wall off Silent, or not Silent, Nico rather. Slardar is gonna be fine as well. Snowball available, but this is a slaughter we're talking here. You snowball in, you're going to get crushed. And he's gonna go instead for
ward.
Viver, the disruptor who doesn't have a crush, and is going to get. Is that another tight wall? It is. Oh my god! Someone stop this man.
Oh, they're playing so well. Silent places the ward down. They're talking. Sioma is spamming like Snowball in the fog, so that he knows that Silent's gonna place the ward. He's like just clicking. He doesn't even know who he's gonna snowball. He's just wanna snowball someone. That's so good. Oh, they're so playing so well. This is so fun to watch. Seeing players really perform on skill-based heroes like this.
Now the real challenge is, what can they do to Pycat? They've been, again, keeping him down in CS. They're going to roll in, forcing out the time walk a little bit early. Metamorph now is active, though. Pycat is in the trees. Sioma is on his tail, and they do catch vision of him. Pycat is going to get some help from the Slaughter, but not nearly enough. Silent from the outset is going to get that kill. Had a word on himself. Slardar, only level 2, doesn't have that much game versus Silent. And he shouldn't be able to get this kill. Sioma's eating tower shots the entire time also. There is a Sunstrike on the field, don't forget that, but seems like Dendi hasn't really had a good chance to use it. Sioma TP out, should be fine unless we have the sickest of Sunstrikes. No, he's fine. 5-2 now as Vega Squadron are just demolishing the map with this Tusk. And top lane, mid lane, now bottom lane, they're all doing perfectly reasonably.
Yeah, this is some really good stuff from Vega. So Sanking was struggling a bit in the early levels of the top lane, but then picked up a bottle and actually managed to force General back to base. So they're doing really well on that lane as well. Mid lane is pretty even as well. Both players are kinda just farming. So definitely advantageous for Vega here in the early game. He's going Midas on the Pycat actually, already queued it up. That's very early to shoot something like that.
This is going to help smooth over that power curve. As you mentioned, Faceless Void. His itemization, much like a Morphling, is a little bit awkward, but Dendi's going to get rolled in on. There is everything going to miss.
Yeah.
Literally everything. Even the Starstorm misses. Sometimes, man, sometimes you're just impossible to kill. Although Sioma, the Shadow Word.
Dead?
Never mind, he's dead anyway. That wasn't a miss kill. That was all calculated.
Also another, you baited. We're gonna make you think you're gonna survive. So you do something and then you're gonna die either way. Oh, that was... I was actually about to laugh, like everything missed. It was kinda pretty good comedy there, but... Oh, how does Snowball interaction? Okay, that's the interaction. He just dead.
One more smack. Sioma's gonna chalk another one up. 2, 1, and 4, only not involved in one kill. Gonna get a really easy one by himself up towards top lane. Finally, Sunstrike in the mix now as they will take down Afterlife, but at the expense of Sneako's Slardar. Silence on a mega kill? What? Okay, Warlock, level 4, just killing people.
I feel like this happens to a lot of Silent actually. I feel like a lot of the time I see and hear people do this, like Silent used to be a carry jokes and he's carrying now, and then like I feel like every game he almost goes and like does insane stuff that you're not expecting, like having 5 kills on Warlock at 8 minutes.
There are certain situations where your support has some extra kills, so yeah, they're just gonna have in general a better game. Oh gee, leaps and then gets hit with the glimpse. He will get hit with a Sunstrike as well. Moonlight Shadow available, but he's not even gonna bother using that. He will go down and Navi get a much needed kill on the mid lane. But you're getting this acceleration, these kills on the Warlock in particular. We all know what happens when Warlock gets Hand of Midas. He typically tends to get a little bit out of control, and we don't really see that much nowadays, where Warlocks get Glimmer Cape, get Force Staff. They will sometimes, in a really, really long game, get to an Ags or Refresher, but that is very few and far between. This game seems like one where Silent is going to have all the options in the world.
Yeah, so last game, Silent had it was Silence who did the Lotus Orb play last game. Where we put Lotus Orb on Breaker and reflected the Omnislash was really one of the... I think that play was the deciding factor of the game being over, but they probably won before that. But so Silent with some farm can definitely do some plays. And Navi are really not sure what their kind of plan is. Snake is just standing around in mid, kind of guarding, kind of hoping to find something. So they are really not sure how to proceed with this game right now.
Midas's on the Navi side will kind of lend them a longer-term game plan. Obviously, you do want that acceleration on the Faceless Void. You want that leveling acceleration and gold on the Invoker as well. Does seem like Navi at this point almost forced a little bit more of a late-game play, but Vega not going to give them that chance. Sioma, indeed the Slayer, and G, they are going to team up and look for a perhaps loop around on Dendi.
Yeah, this seems like a kill that's probably not happening. Maybe on Soneko, but that's not the most valuable kill. I guess they're gonna sell for it. Or will they?
Snowball, Arrow. At least the shards land this time. Starstorm should get the kill.
Oh!
And Sunstrike on Sioma will get a return kill. Yeah, Snowball into Arrow isn't really a combo, so the fact that they're missing it is not that surprising. But hey, there's a Terrorblade here as well. Where Terrorblade goes, usually towers will fall. Well, actually, Navi, they're going to assemble the troops here. Beaver does have a glimpse.
Oh, pathing! No, Beaver! Oh, he was about to get in range, but then he pressed downhill, so he ran. He started running the other way. Oh, they're drawing now. Trying to explain what happened. But Meta used that lead for Vega, so now we get some space with that, because they can't really do much aggressively while Meta is down. So they are pretty happy about that. Midas on Invoker, Void is getting close to his as well, so they're gonna go for this late game build up.
Warlock, though, does have his ultimate. Sand King, I guess, has his ultimate as well, but really looking for that Blink Dagger pickup. Is likely not going to be aggressively wandering anywhere until he gets that item, but that doesn't mean he's not going to not participate. He has buddies coming into his own lane. These ultimates and the amount of control they have, they can smash these heroes. They do get a Burst Strike to open up, and Afterlife now has an opportunity to start with that Burst Strike onto the Slaughter. Is going to get some help with the Chaotic Offering. Snowball going to arrive as well. They're going to focus on the General with the Tusk, vacuum back. Not going to do anything, and now, well, they'll just say, okay, General, you can live, but the Slaughter, you cannot. Get another kill. 4 deaths on the Slaughter so far, and it is a little bit expensive. You use the Chaotic Offering for that, but hey, you push the wave, you see what you can get. Maybe get this tower down and a little bit closer to the Sand King's Blink.
Yeah, not the best trade for Vega though, using a Golem for support. And can they go for General here?
They're going for General though.
Oh, this is
Snowball from the trees, shards to lock him out for a Burrow Strike to land. Textbook Tusk right there.
It's that's some confident play, because if he misses those shots, this is probably ending up him dying to some random stuff, a TP in and a Sunstrike like earlier.
Oh, so bottom. The Terrorblade got dropped down to like 50 HP, and now he's gonna turn out with the Sunder. Burrow Strike on the Pycat. I thought for sure he was gonna go down. With the Moonlight Shadow, they were forced to use the Chronosphere just to make sure that they see him still to right click. But even with the Sunstrike landing, at the end of the day, this Terrorblade is an armor monster. And for Navi, they're not really dealing with that much damage that's not physical. So Terrorblade squeaks out his survival and a kill on Pycat, no less. The Vega are just playing amazingly right now.
I think Pycat, he picked up Midas before he died at least, so he's like at least somewhat happy about that. If he died before he got the Midas, that would have been really bad. So a bit of redemption there. G is going for the axe as well. I don't really have a problem with this. I would love to see some other builds though. I feel like this is what everyone does, or like used to do. So if you're picking it now, maybe do something different would be cool. It just synergizes so well with the Warlock. I can't really blame him though. After I picked up a Blink thanks to that as well, which is hopefully he's not gonna show it here. Probably wants to get a pick off with it. He has epicenter, so Honeko will probably die to that unless he shows it.
Yeah, now they definitely know about it. He walked into an observer ward from Na'Vi as well, so full intel from the Na'Vi side, but knowing about Sand King with Blink and actually doing something about it, two drastically different things, since his initiation range is just going to be so high, especially when Moonlight Shadow gets used. It does seem like Vega, they have the run of the map right now. Still mid lane tower, an objective that they want to bring down just so that they can get more kill opportunities across the map. And, I mean, it probably will fall. It's already super weak, but they're looking for a kill on top of that, and it will be onto this Disruptor. Shards can limit his space, but not really do all that much. Mirana Arrow will connect from nowhere with the stars to fall. That'll be the death of the Disruptor, and that will guarantee this tower as well.
Yeah, pretty nice rotation. He's like, I'm just gonna try and get a free kill and then take the tower. Efficient movement, Terrorblade not needed for that. Just G and a random Sioma spell. Oh, Invoker. This could be really bad.
Full epicenter channel, vacuum back, but there's no follow-up, and now the chaotic offering is going to drop. They do Chronosphere, only the Warlock, a completely useless target at this stage. Burst Strike through with the stars to fall. That'll kill off the Slardar. And we see that Chronosphere did, well, a big lot of nothing to this Warlock. Sioma still looking for Pycap perhaps. Not really sure if that's in the cards, but Sigil actually going to see Biver. Maybe just on the edge. Either way, it's still a 2-0, and Na'Vi don't really have that many big ultimates left. Now the Shards and the Blink forward from Afterlife. They're going to chain stun Biver and kill him off in an instant with an illusion from the Terrorblade, whatever works. And they're going to group up on this top tier 2 and get that as well. Na'Vi have all these big ultimates, but you know what? If you're only using Chronosphere on a Warlock who already dropped the rock, it seems like this faces Void at that point. It's just an irrelevant hero.
Yeah, the problem is that then is basically all the damage in Chrono. Pyga doesn't really do any right clicks at this stage. So they really need now Dendi to be alive to just Sunstrike a target and in the Chrono, and that person will at least die most likely. But now they kind of threw all their ultimates that they kind of can't afford to just spend like this, and now they lost 2 towers, and the map control is gonna be so much in Vega's favor that this the net worth and experience graph is just gonna go snowball in Vega's favor now. And I feel like Na'Vi doesn't really have much options. They can contest Roche, but they I think they need to really look for late game now, like almost give up everything to just get as much as they can themselves, and maybe counter when Vegas try to gank like they're doing now. But it seems like Dennis is gonna die. Yeah. He
has a lot of creeps here, so landing an arrow. Okay, never mind. Well, all the creeps are gonna leave him alone, and now the arrow's gonna chain stun. Epicenter as well. Ghost Walk not gonna save you here, Dendi. We'll get picked off. You have to make those plays as the Invoker. You have to push the waves out. You have to try to get as much farm as you can possibly get, because you know there are only so many safe places to farm. Your Slaughter desperately needs his Blink Dagger, and well, everyone on Na'Vi really needs a lot of cash. General's gonna vacuum back the Terrorblade. Static Storm gonna lock him in. They do have Moonlight Shadow, a little bit backup coming in from the Burrow Strike. He does have a Thunder. He's gonna get it off onto the General. Now here comes the stars. That'll crush the Darkseer. Biver's gonna teleport out of here. The Slardar into the trees will be spotted. He has no blink to get himself out of there. They're gonna focus onto the hero that matters. It's Pycat. He's stuck. Has a time walk, but with the punch in the face, will not be going anywhere. And it's going to be, again, somehow this Terrorblade surviving and turning around for 2 huge profile kills.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a golem used either. That Vega are so quick to rotate as well. Like they Silent is standing there, and then as soon as the wall gets dropped, they're like everyone TPs in. Sand King just comes in, Tusk comes in, they just blows everything with the fatal bonds that isn't even that high level, so still insane damage. And now the golem's up and there's a meta. I wonder how far Vega will push this. I think they could think about high ground here. They seems like they want to kill Dendi again though.
Well, they're not going to say no. They drop a rock for it with no epicenter. It's going to be close. Lots of damage and will be enough with the immolation. That's only level 1 Warlock. Warlock ultimate. Yeah, but yeah, super worth it. And they're going to go in for
more here.
General. Yeah, there goes General. There goes Slardar. They did like 50 damage to the Terrorblade. I mean, the Terrorblade is not going to die to those heroes. Like, they just don't have enough damage to kill him off. And even if he didn't have backup there, I'm pretty sure with the Sunder, he just 2v1s them.
Yeah, they are so far ahead. Silent is higher than Vega, who is the highest farmed in his team. Oh my god, this is a slaughter so far. Navi's high gun is insanely good though if they can get their basic items, as in Darkseer Blink and Soneko Blink, then they become strong. And it's gonna be hard for Vega to push, but they need to get there before that as well. And Vega have all the tools to close out this game earlier than that.
Clear Roche as their next objective, Vega. Not really sure if they want to use Metamorph for that. Probably don't need to, simply because Navi will not really be super eager to, teleport out and try to crash Roshan. It is one of their stronger suits, Navi, just the ability to team fight in that close quarters area, but at this point they're going to be playing very, very cautiously. Once you get the Aegis, it's, not really the best on some of these Vega heroes. Pretty good on the Mirana, only mediocre on the Terrorblade, but still, the high ground is going to be under siege soon, and Navi, they have that Blink Dagger yet on the Slardar? No, still 400 off. Darkseer still very far away from his as well. They need this teamfight advantage if they're going to have any sort of chance, and even then, the amount of farm on the Vega Squadron side is so high that maybe they're just going to be able to tank their way through all the teamfight ultimates that Navi have.
Yeah, they are so far ahead now that that's actually a realistic situation. Warlock picked up a mech, so he's like, if he doesn't die, he will mech everyone as well. At least Soneko is picking up the Blink right now. How far is Darkseer away? General needs about 700. That's their big timing. If they will have to sack this Roche. When they get that, they actually have a realistic chance at getting some good teamfight and getting back into this game. But it's basically up to General getting, I think, a 3-man vacuum wall with all the follow-up is not going to be good enough almost at this stage. I think it needs to be a 4-man almost. And that's very hard to get off. And even then, Silent is just going to drop a rock and that might just counter everything.
And of course, it's going to be that double life. Terrorblade with a bottle this time is going to very skillfully get a double damage rune to spawn. So, another plus 140 damage. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Vega Squadron, usually when you pick up the Aegis, you run the map a little bit, keep your heroes farming. They don't really have to at this point, since they do have that double damage. This is the strongest Terrorblade is going to be for a very, very long time. And Navi, Blink Dagger check, yes on the Slardar, no on the Darkseer. This is going to be really tough, since only the Terrorblade is needed to poke at that high ground. By poke, I mean demolish. They're going to Burrow Strike onto the Darkseer, out of chain stun, Starstorm double. It's going to almost be enough to kill him off, and he will go down. By the way, Terrorblade not even looking at that Darkseer, he's just focusing the tower the entire time, forcing out a buyback immediately. Afterlife can go in again. Arrow cooldown, 2 seconds. G gonna leap in, just give him a little more juice. Chronosphere lands, but it's only onto the Terrorblade. The Burrow Strike onto the back end means that there's no follow-up damage-wise, and Terrorblade's at full HP. He's happy to start swinging. Great combo in the middle of the fight, but it doesn't seem like it's relevant at this stage. Terrorblade, it does have that double life still, and Navi, they have gotten only G down so far. Pycat sundered down is going to be dropping. He does have a buyback, but the Darkseer, Disruptor, they're both dead. The Raxes are dead as well. And it doesn't seem like Vega are going to settle just for one. The Terrorblade is legit at full HP, still with that double life. And no Mirana, no problem. Navi, I don't know what they can possibly do about this.
Invoker is not even close to being strong enough to do anything about this. Soneko baiting them in maybe, but...
Gonna get rolled in on. Sioma is separated, so maybe they'll kill off the Tusk, but it's a Tusk, so Afterlife can land a huge Burrow Strike in the back. Flaming Fist's going to go to work onto Dendi. Afterlife glimpse right back in. Sandstorm out. Soneko still alive, although dropping very quickly to an illusion. Afterlife is also still alive. I mean, this is a level 16 Sand King we're talking here. Rax on bottom will survive as well. And Vega will call it quits, at least for right now. Maybe going to fill the tanks, wait for some cooldowns, but the damage has already been done. Like, Rax mid, a bunch of buybacks being pulled out, and Vega lost 2 heroes.
Tusk died. Did anyone else die?
G died like very early on.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this Terrorblade is just... This is the same story as last game, but even worse, honestly. I guess Terrorblade is not as bad as it was last game, but his teammates are also mega fat, so... kind of makes up for it. They need the blink on Darkseid. They can't do anything honestly without it. Like him having buyback, I wonder if they almost just stack the racks just to getting that blink. That might have been the better decision. But even then, Vega are so far ahead, they can play it so easy and not even be close to each other because the Terrorblade is basically unstoppable.
Get a crew of illusions, has Afterlife with the blink behind him, well as G's arrow to follow up, and they're gonna go first for Dendy. So much damage from this Terrorblade. Dendy will survive, and they'll drop a Chronosphere again, only onto the Terrorblade. There's no damage follow-up because G's gonna jump in and assassinate Dendy. Terrorblade barely took a scratch from that huge 3-man Burrow Strike from Afterlife, and the Snowball follow-up, chain stunning perfectly. Static Storm does drop onto 2, but no one's focusing this Terrorblade, who's just carving through Na'Vi. General's the next one to die. Pycat and Dendy just versus Terrorblade. I don't think they have a chance there. The racks will fall, and that is going to be GG. Man, I thought game 1 was convincing, and then game 2 happened.
Yeah, this just became a disaster so fast for Na'Vi. They really focused Dendy this game. When he was pushing, they committed a lot to kill him. And then Na'Vi tried to respond by killing people on the other side of the map, but Vega were just too ready and too strong for that, and just killed on both sides of the lanes. Then times in a row, similar things like that happened, and